Hey everyone, today I'd like to talk about intentions, right? Why sometimes the things that we think about and the things that we want actually seem to appear, and some things, we can think about it and it doesn't appear, right? So today we're going to break this whole thing called intention down, and we're going to explain how you can get those intentions that you have come to pass for you. So watch on and let's see what you can find out today. So yesterday, let me tell you this story. Yesterday I had this rare opportunity. I was invited to a meeting with a brand coach by the name of Ian Lai. He is helping me do some work with my brand, and that's the reason why I've changed the scene today, because he's watched some of the videos and he said that, hey, after meeting you live, you're more energetic and brighter, and you speak with such forceful and enthusiasm, but how come your videos are dark? And so I've changed the scene, and I was supposed to make this video last night, but I've decided, hey, why don't try out what a brand coach was telling me. So you can tell me whether this video is better than the ones before that I've been making, all right? But we want to get into intentions. Let's get back to the story. So I met up with Ian, and he actually told me once I arrived that, hey, a friend of his would be joining us to the meeting. And I said, oh great, and he said that you know this guy too. And I said, oh really? And then he said, yeah, you're friends with him on Facebook. So I've invited him, but he'll come in at about an hour later. So we got on chatting, and Ian and I were in this conversation, just sharing bits and parts of our lives. And I was just sharing with him some of the things that I'm passionate in, some of the things that I want to do. And then this friend of ours showed up, right? So his name is Khalid, and he's such an amazing man, right? The moment he walked in, you could feel his presence, number one, right? Number two, you could sense, his zest, okay? And this is what the word is, right? The zest for life. He's just full of ideas, full of passion, full of this energy within him, right? That is so attractive, right? And so we got on talking about how he got as successful as he was. He's a serial entrepreneur, make millions of dollars, and he was sitting there, right there with us, and just sharing his experience and life. And then he brought up this point. He brought up many points that were very exciting, and hopefully in other videos I'll be able to share it with you. But there was one point that captured my attention very much, and that was how he said that all his successes started off from him setting intentions within himself. And so as he went on, he actually shared using a magnet, right? He said, look, intentions are like a magnet. So what you need to do is put the magnet down, or get a magnet, he says. And intention is like a magnet. So what does a magnet do? A magnet actually has got polarities, and it attracts things that are of metal. And that brought into my mind, in the 80s, I used to watch a lot of this action drama, these kung fu movies, and somehow many of them ends up in a car yard, a scrap metal car yard. And if you watch these movies before, the villain would actually go up to the crane with a huge magnet, and it then sucks up the car where the hero is. If you can imagine that, right? A magnet is not the little thing that that holds on to your cupboard door, okay? We're talking about magnet, a big magnet, all right? So your intentions, make it big, right? The first thing is make it big, right? Just like the magnet that can suck up a car. And actually, how I got thinking about a car was, he said that if you have a magnet that is strong enough, you probably also suck up a Bentley or a Porsche or a Ferrari, and that was the level that he was thinking about, right? So, but it wasn't that about wealth, or it wasn't about just money, but intentions, okay, are something that you set that you want to be doing or you want to be getting, and with setting the right kind of intention, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later, what is the right kind and what's the wrong kind of intention. So if you set the right kind of intention in your mind, and put that magnet, right, that intention magnet really huge within you, in your mind, your soul, and your body, right? And just begin to fill yourself with this magnet, then you'll be attracting anything. This intention has got to have these few elements, I believe, right? So in this sharing, I'll come back to what are the elements. So in this sharing, he continued to say that that's how through his life, right? And his life is an interesting story. So if you get to meet this guy, or if I get to interview him one day, and get him to share, I'm sure you'd enjoy that. All right. So tell me if you enjoy, if I could get to interview people like that, where they've got so much success in their life, and try to figure out how did they get into that level of success. Okay. But anyway, so as he was sharing, I then realized this, right? I caught on to this and said, hey, if there's something that I want to take up from the day that I want to share with you, it will be this, right? The intentions. And he talked about the magnet. But as I went home and began to ponder, so what are the things that allow us to do this, make this magnet strong, right? So in the conversation, he says, you first need to set this big intention and begin to empower it. Think about it, right? The magnet, the strongest magnet that we have now allows bullet trains to float up on air and to be able to cruise in speeds that are unimaginable. And why? Because when it cruises on air, there's no friction, right? So how does this magnet do it, right? So yes, if you're thinking and if you know the science behind it, it's actually using electricity, right? So you need to give the magnet power. It doesn't matter how big the magnet block is, but if you don't give it power, it's not going to do what it is supposed to do. Okay? So how do you give it power? Because as you were saying, you need to put, you need to do some action and give it power. Okay, so a lot of us say, hey, I put an intention in and then I fight for it, right? And I go and I grit my teeth and I go for it. Actually, what he was saying is, the action first starts with you empowering your intentions. So I came back, I was thinking about it, and you know what? I found it, right? And I was reminded of a scripture verse, okay? If those of you who are believers, you would know this scripture. It's in Philippians 4:8. Okay, so let me read this out to you. So even if you're not, right, this will apply to you. Okay, so listen. It says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Okay? So what are the elements, right? If you're setting an intention and you want to charge it with power, this is what you need to charge it with. With truth, with nobility, with what is right, with what is pure, with what is lovely, with what is admirable, and it must be something of excellence and praiseworthy. It really dawned on me that as I set my intentions, I don't empower them. I don't empower these intentions. Okay, and empowering means, we are pondering on it, we're thinking about it, but we're charging this magnet. So charge the magnet. So if your intentions are not in truth, okay, not noble by its pure intention is not noble, okay, your intention is to do something wrong, then obviously such things will not actually benefit you, or will not come to pass in a way that will empower you, or that will now give you joy, okay, or will bless you, right? So if you have intentions in your head to build a business, right? We also talked about it in the conversation. We all agreed actually in the table yesterday that if all we get into business for, if all we work for is for a selfish intention, you know what? You will either stay where you are, or your business will not be something that the money that you get, you may be getting some, but you also lose it as quickly. Why? Because it is not true to its core, it is not noble, it may not be right, it may not be from a pure way of getting it, okay? Or it's not lovely overall, okay? People will feel that, there's something wrong about it, and it's definitely not admirable. Okay, so if it's not admirable, if it's not something that's praiseworthy, or it's from an excellent place, then these intentions will, number one, either will not come true, or even if you see some success, but sooner or later the thing will collapse, right? So if you are setting intentions today, if you are looking for success today, I want you to begin to realign how you think about the goals that you're setting and the intentions that you set today, right? Something that you want to do today, all right? I set my intentions, and also part of the conversation yesterday, we talked about, hey, when do you set up your day? And I think in previous videos, I've also talked about that, right? Set up the day the night before, because when you go to sleep, the subconscious will begin to attract, right? So this is where, you're just not thinking about it in your mind, but in your heart and in your soul. So if you're out there to achieve because your intentions are to serve people, I can guarantee you, okay, that this thing will be able to bring about goodness all around for everyone, right? The money, the fame, the admiration, the love will all come, right? So if you are doing something that is going to serve the many, this is where success or wealth or fame or these such things that you're searching for will come. Okay, so this is a short sharing about intentions. So as you are now setting your intentions, writing it down, think about the elements that I've talked about. Can you remember what they are? They are truth, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, and excellent or praiseworthy. Okay, so think about it, right? And I wish you all the best as you're setting your intentions, and I sincerely pray and hope that you will get the desires of your heart. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Eugene signing off. Bye-bye.